Hey, Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff's Office, lift your hands now.
Don't move.
Don't you move.
Don't move.
Walk down the stairs.
Come down the stairs. What's your name? What's your name?
That's him.
That's Terrell. Hey, don't move!
All right. Walk down the stairs now.
On the night of January 12, 2022, a teenager passed away in the middle of a residential street in Bunnell, Florida. 4 people were responsible. Within hours, 2 of them were already in custody.
No idea. Steven, you are gonna yourself because you're the only one lying.
Okay.
You're the only one lying. Why would you be the only one lying in this scenario?
This is 23-year-old Stephen Monroe, 4 months free, and the first thing he does when he finally sits down in front of detectives is invent a witness out of thin air and walk into this interrogation room convinced he still has a way out.
So now what you're doing is you're just selling me a load of bullshit. You're basically on my back and telling me it's right here.
What Monroe doesn't know is that his co-defendants didn't wait for a deal. They gave the same story independently, in separate rooms, before Monroe ever sat down in that chair.
You're being charged today with first degree of Noah Smith. You have no bond.
Help me, bro.
That's their whole job establishment.
She not help me, bro. They work for the state, bro. Come on.
No, that's not true at all, man.
I'm never gonna see my family.
On the evening of January 12, 2022, 23-year-old Stephen Monroe, 20-year-old Tyrese Patterson, and 18-year-old Devondre Williams had been in a black Kia SUV for most of the day. For weeks, they'd been locked in a feud with a man named Edward Sampson, not the kind of feud that starts in person, the kind that starts on Instagram, taunting on live streams, the kind of back and forth that convinces young men they have a reputation to protect and something to prove. On this night, Monroe, Patterson, and Williams decided it was time to prove it. That night, they were driving through Bunnell looking for Edward Sampson. They did not find him. Instead, they came across his younger brother, 18-year-old Terrell Sampson. Terrell was standing outside on the 400 block of South Anderson Street with a group of people, including his 15-year-old friend Noah Smith. Noah was a high school student with no gang ties and no involvement in the feud. He was simply standing outside with people he knew. Williams pulled the vehicle to a stop. Terrell saw the car. Words were exchanged. Then Terrell opened fire toward the vehicle as it pulled away. The car disappeared around the corner. For about 30 seconds, it was gone. Then it came back. Williams looped around to Bowie Street, positioning the vehicle so that Monroe and Patterson had a direct sight line straight down the block. They raised their weapons. What followed was a fight in the middle of a residential neighborhood. Caught in it was a kid who had not made a single decision that night that should have put him there. Noah Smith was struck in the hip. He was rushed to the hospital. He did not survive. Monroe and the others fled the scene in their car. Meanwhile, Terrell Sampson ran from the area, dropping a ski mask on the way. Police later recovered the mask and arrested him shortly after.
Hey, Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff's Office, lift your hands now.
Don't move.
Don't you move.
Don't move.
Walk down the stairs.
Come down the stairs. What's your name? What's your name?
That's him.
That's Terrell. Hey, don't move!
All right. Walk down the stairs now.
Stay off the radio. We got 2 by 404 South Church. Stand by.
You move, you get bit. You understand?
I'm coming around.
Hold him, though.
Hold him. Hey, we're gonna calm down to me. Stand by, stand by, stand by. Stand by, stand by. Hey, blue shirt, I want you to listen to me. Blue hoodie, listen to me. Very slowly, set your phone down on the chair. Step down off the step. Okay, turn around, face the other way. Hey, walk back. Walk back. Yeah, keep your hands up, walk back. Oh, hang on, stop. There's a cooler right behind you. Don't step over it. Go around it. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Over here, oh, over here, to me. Bring your hands back behind your back. Okay. Do you have any on you? What's in your hand? Okay, drop it.
Less than 12 hours after Noah Smith was shot, Stephen Monroe was sitting inside the Bunnell Sheriff's Office. He wasn't there because anyone brought him in. He walked in himself to change the hours on his felony probation. Detectives pulled him aside. Monroe agreed to talk. He'd heard about what happened. It was all over Instagram, but he didn't have anything to do with that.
The reason I'm talking to you, we had a little incident last night. and I want to see if you know anything about it. You see, I got a recorder going on, and I'm a law enforcement officer. I'm conducting criminal investigation. All right, and you don't have. I can't compel you to talk to me, but I'd like you to talk to me about this. You don't happen to know anything about any incidents that may have happened in the city of Benito?
I heard what happened. It's all over Instagram.
Okay.
I don't know nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit.
Alright. You do me a favor, can you raise your right hand for me? You solemnly swear, just your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm a statement you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Alright. And you see, we got an open door here. You can disappear. I mean, we're going to have to go through security procedures, but we're not going to detain you or keep you not in handcuffs. We just pat you down because, you know, you're on felony probation.
Yeah, no, I don't got no weapons, bro.
Okay.
That shit not worth going to jail.
I got you.
I got a daughter and shit, bro.
What gang you with?
Huh?
What gang you with?
I don't bang, bro.
Okay. You ever, Department of Corrections ever tagged you?
They tried to, but these just tattoos, bro.
What did they tag you with? So I don't have to go.
You know. They put me in the side room talking to me like, I don't know what they were saying.
You've never been to state DOC? You didn't do.
Oh no,
you got
fuck no.
Okay.
Hell no.
All right. Okay. So what did you hear about what happened last night?
Somebody got shot.
Anybody you happen to know got shot? You know
I don't know nobody, but I just heard somebody got shot.
How'd you hear about it?
How could people keep texting me and shit?
They keep texting you?
Yeah.
Texting you from Instagram or what Instagram pages you get?
It's just on Instagram, like it's not really like direct messages, just all over.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
posting everything, like you can click it, then people just share it, like they share the post. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, not really one direct person.
All right. Well, do you mind showing me any of these posts?
No, I ain't got a phone. No, I don't do that either. I don't want nothing to do with whatever y'all got going on.
I'm sorry, you don't have your phone with you, or you don't wish to show me what you said?
Both. I don't got nothing to do with that.
Okay.
You feel me? I'm sorry. I was just saying, this shit scared me, bro. I got a daughter and shit. I don't want nothing to do with whatever y'all got going on.
All right.
What'd you do last night? Start with what'd you do last night? You're home all night.
Hell yeah, playing video games, chilling and watching my
From
dog.
what time?
All day, bro. I ain't leave the house not one time.
You didn't leave the house
All day.
all day from yesterday, say, at lunchtime
Bro, all day.
until this morning.
Bro, all day.
Okay,
I didn't leave the house.
I'm just trying to say.
I know, I'm just telling
Okay,
you.
so
All day, I didn't leave the house.
I know, but let me finish. So yesterday from lunchtime until this morning, when you came here, you were at the house the entire time
Exactly.
at
Yes,
Rose
sir.
Petal.
Yes, sir. Just playing
You
my
never
games.
left one time.
No, sir.
Never.
No, never. Just playing my games.
Who brought you here?
My friend Arvin.
Arvin?
Mhm.
Long?
Mhm.
Okay.
Monroe left that station having no idea what he had just handed investigators. He had placed himself on camera, under oath, swearing he was at Rose Petal Drive from midday until the following morning, never left. Not once. He had given them a name, a timeline, and a specific alibi with specific details attached, and every one of those details could be checked. What Monroe did not understand was that a sworn statement with specific, verifiable claims is exactly what investigators need most. Not because it might be true, but because if it isn't, it becomes its own piece of evidence. A man who swears he was home all day and can be placed in a car that night has not just lied, he has committed perjury on camera. He has given prosecutors a document to build a case on top of. Monroe walked out that door. 4 months later, investigators were ready to use everything he had said against him. Over the next 4 months, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office Major Case Unit logged more than 2,500 hours working this investigation and a connected case running alongside it. They executed more than 40 warrants. Search warrants, arrest warrants, warrants for digital records, social media accounts, and phone data. The social media evidence alone was substantial. The defendant and his co-defendants left a treasure trove of videos and photographs on social media. And you know that stuff's out there and you can't take it back.
All right, so wanted to run some things by you and clarify some things today. All right, so that's why we're here. Since you're in custody, and I'm going to ask you some questions, I'm going to go ahead and read you your Miranda rights. Same thing as last time, nothing different. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used as evidence against you. You have the right to talk to an attorney and have him or her with you now or at any time during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. If at any time you wish to stop talking or have an attorney present, all questioning will be stopped at your request. Do you understand each one of these rights that I've read to you today? All right. So some of the things that we want to talk about here today is basically clarification on some of the stuff from the incident with Noah Smith from January. Okay. So we have spent obviously hundreds, thousands of hours collecting all the information from everybody that was there, all the cameras, all the cell phone records, all the Instagram records, all that shit. So there's some inconsistencies in what you told us that we need to clarify, okay? Now, I want to ask you one more time, who was in the car the night when you left Rose Petal Drive and you went down to Pinell that ultimately ended up with Noah Smith passing away?
Some dude that I didn't know, and then it was me, Dre, and Pooh
Okay, where were you seating?
on this behind the dude on the left side from the dude that I didn't know.
Okay, so who was in the front seat?
I think Pooh and Dre was on the right side of me.
Okay, so this is that, and I'm glad that's the first thing you said because this is the inconsistencies that we have. Okay, so we've met with Dre and we've also met with Tyrese.
Okay.
All right, they have made it very clear exactly what occurred that night, and what we've determined is that you're being less than honest with us. Yes, about who was in the car that night and where everybody was seated.
No, sir.
Well, all the evidence would suggest that you're not telling us the exact story. We know that there was only 3 people in the car that night. So this guy that you've talked about, this guy with the wicks that was supposedly driving the car, we can tell at this point for sure that person does not exist. Okay, we know who was driving because they've told us out of their own mouth that they were driving. Devondre Williams, in an interview with his mom and us, sat there and told us very clearly that he drove the car down to Pinell that night. Okay, and he said very clearly that only him, you, and Tyrese Patterson were in that car.
It's not true.
Okay, well, in an independent, separate conversation with Tyrese Patterson today, Tyrese Patterson confirmed that Devondre Williams was driving, and then you and Tyrese Patterson were on the right side of the car. Okay, so we have witnesses, cameras, cell phone records. When phones are in a car with each other, they communicate with each other, and they can kind of tell who's all touching each other's Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all this shit. And there is no 4th phone in the car, no 4th person. I would say that. Okay, are you sure you're talking about the same night that I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'll just tell you what they told us. They told us that Devondre was driving the car. You guys leave Rose Petal. You drive down to Pinell. Tyrese says that you guys were going to his grandma's house to pick up some weed. You pass the block. Terrell Sampson standing on the corner. Terrell starts shooting at you guys. You make the block, come around. Shots were returned at Terrell Sampson. Okay? We've been told that Devondre Williams had a gun, but he did not shoot anybody that night. Okay, so Devondre was driving, Tyrese was in the back seat on the passenger side, and you were in the front on the passenger side. Okay, shots were fired at Terrell Sampson. Nobody hit Terrell Sampson. All right, some would say unfortunately. I don't want to say that, but some would say that.
That's not the truth.
Okay, well, we have also reviewed all your Instagram stuff, your cell phone. We've gone through everything. There's no mention of any 4th person. We interviewed everybody that was at the house that night. We talked to Adrian, Crystal, Glib, Nevaeh. Everybody clearly states that there was no 4th person in the car that night. It was just the 3 of you. Now, what you're risking is, if this is not true, what you're risking is now you have become the only person that's not telling the truth about this.
I'm telling you the truth.
Okay.
There was 4 people in that car.
Okay, well, Tyrese Patterson just told me 5 minutes ago that if Dre was driving, Dre hands him a gun, you have your own gun, and you and Tyrese fire at Terrell.
Of course they gonna try to put me in it.
Well, Dre said the same thing.
Of course they gonna try to put me in it. They both got a lot against me.
What does Dre have against you? It seems like you and Dre are pretty tight.
Well, I had gave them the house, like I said, because they didn't have nowhere to stay. You feel me? And none of them was paying bills, so I had to like dismiss it. You feel me? Because nobody was paying bills. So they was pretty much had to find their own way of doing things. And since I was moving, nobody was gonna have nowhere to go. You feel me? But I wanted to stay somewhere where nobody was finna pay the bills and I'm just paying it by myself.
Okay.
So, and
That would lead them to tell on themselves and implicate themselves in a
I mean,
homicide.
because they're already in some stuff. So of course they're gonna try to drag whoever they can into it.
I'll use this word because this is exactly what happened. But Tyrese Patterson confessed to shooting and accidentally hitting Noah Smith today.
Okay.
Dre confessed to driving the car after Terrell Sampson shot at the car. Dre says he looped around the block, gave the gun to Pooh. You and Pooh shoot down the block. Okay.
That's still not true.
All right. Well, there was 2 guns used in the shooting.
Okay.
We're being told that both guns were given to you to get rid of. Okay.
That's crazy.
That's what they're saying. And listen, I don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah, I
All right,
understand.
I'm not a magician, unfortunately. I can't tell you exactly what happened. I can only tell you what we're being told. And that is what we're being told, and it matches up with the evidence a heck of a lot more than this guy that you're saying that you don't know, you've never met before, and just happens to show up the night that there's a shooting in Benel. And
I understand what you're hearing. I understand what I'm risking.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, there was a 4th person in that car.
Okay.
And I know where I was sitting, and I know exactly what I saw. You feel me?
Okay. So what do you know about this 4th person?
Nothing. I just know that he had wicks. I ain't never seen him before.
So what
The first time I seen him, like I said, because Pooh came to the house with him and they asked us, because it was just me and Dre at the house at first. Well, and besides the other people that was there, you feel me? And he came and he asked us, do we want to smoke? And I said, yeah. You feel me? So we all got in the car. And then, like I said, we went to Benel and we started smoking. And that's when all of that stuff happened.
And but Pooh was at the house all day.
No, Pooh was not at the house all day.
Where was he?
I don't know. But
So
he wasn't
you guys
at the house
were-
all day. Dre, it was like I said, it was me. It was Lil. No, Lil wasn't there. It was me. It was Nevaeh. It was Adrian. And then there was Dre. You feel me? I don't know where Pooh was all day. But
Well, we have videos from your Instagram live. Your
yeah,
Instagram live.
he wasn't there all day.
Well, he
Like I'm
puts you
saying.
guys in Benel on the corner of South Peach Street and East Bowie Street at around 11 a.m. And you're singing your song, smoking. Pooh's in the driver's seat, Dre's in the back. You guys were just posted up on the corner waiting for somebody to pull up, right? Nobody pulls up. You guys leave around 5 o'clock. You guys meet up with Ed Boy at the gym, and y'all had him running, right? Somebody pulled the gun on him, whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. But Ed Boy's at the gym. Y'all had him running. Ed Boy, Ed Boy. This is the whole Instagram live video that we had seen. A 15-minute video of you and Pooh in the driver's seat of this Kia. And y'all are both pointing guns at the phone saying, you know, fuck the ops, basically, that Ed Boy's a bitch, Rod's a bitch, like, pull up then, all this taunting sort of shit. And then that means Pooh's at your house a couple of hours before you guys roll out to Benel. You guys are together. The phones match up together all day long. So later on, Pooh is sleeping or high or whatever the fuck. Dre drives the Kia. You guys go down to Benel together. This guy, this 4th guy, is not on any videos, no record of him anywhere. Tyrese Patterson, without explaining to him what you said, tells us very clearly, this is what happened that night. Dre's driving, Creek is in the front, I'm in the back. We go down there, we're not looking for trouble. Terrell shoots at us, we come back, and we let off rounds at Terrell. And somehow,
I hear what you're saying.
Noah got hit.
But I'm telling you, there was a 4th person in that car.
Okay.
And Dre was not driving.
Okay.
Dre was right next to me.
Okay. And did Dre shoot?
Like I said, I didn't see. You
Okay.
feel me? I was too busy hearing the gun sounds and putting my head down.
Okay, so everything is on Pooh. Pooh's fault for everything. You think Pooh should get charged with
Like
murder?
I said, he just admitted to you he was shooting, you feel me?
Okay.
But like I said, there was a 4th person in that car. Like I said, I remember, I know what I seen.
Okay.
Remember?
And you sure you're not confusing it with some other night?
No, I'm sure.
Because I know you guys have done you guys were rooting around there a few times.
No, I'm sure.
Okay.
In the 4 months, detectives built their case from evidence. Surveillance cameras placed the black Kia on Bowie Street, the exact position from which Monroe and Patterson fired, all of it on camera. Cell phone records destroyed Monroe's alibi. Monroe's phone, Patterson's phone, and Williams' phone were moving together all day. There was no fourth person in that car. Then there was the Instagram Live, Stephen Monroe in the front passenger seat of that exact Kia, pointing a weapon at the camera, taunting rivals on the same streets where things turned deadly, the same seat he now claims he never sat in. What detectives know at this point that Monroe doesn't. Tyrese Patterson was shown an arrest warrant and immediately gave up the entire story. Devondre Williams was brought in on a separate charge and, with his mother in the room, told detectives everything. Neither of them had to coordinate. Neither of them needed to. The truth, when it's the same across 3 separate people who weren't in the same room, tends to hold together better than a lie one person invented in 5 minutes. Which gun fired the round that killed him is not a secondary detail. It is the central forensic question of this entire prosecution. Under Florida law, all 3 men in that car can be charged with Noah's murder regardless of whose specific bullet struck him. But the identity of the weapon that fired the fatal shot carries significant weight at sentencing, and potentially at trial, in determining the precise degree of culpability each man faces. Stephen Monroe is now the only person in this building still lying. Before Monroe sits back down, there's one piece of context that matters for what detectives are about to confront him with. Shortly after the incident, Monroe sent a message to a contact on Instagram. The message read, 211 on a Norm.
Now, the next couple hours later, you hit up what, and I know you used to be affiliated with G and all that shit, right? So a couple of hours later, you hit up your boy on Instagram and you tell him that you need some help. You gotta get out of town or some shit. And dude can't talk on the phone for some reason, so he's like, just code it out, right? So then you write 211 on a Norm. You write 2-11 on a Norm, Norm. What does 211 on a Norm mean to you?
Help. Somebody trying to kill me.
Okay. Are there any other lies you want to sit here and look at me in the face and disrespect me like that? You want to just get that out of the way? Because 211, yes you are. 211 on a Norm does not mean help, okay? If you don't think that we have access to all this old school GD shit that we could just pull up and
but that's old shit. That's not.
Oh, the new shit.
So
okay, so
I'm not finna sit here and lie to you and disrespect.
No, that's exactly what you're doing.
I'm trying to go home.
I'll tell you what you are. Is that you're a very bright young man.
Okay.
You come from a good family.
Okay.
You have a good situation at home. You have a stepdaughter. You have a girl that's probably willing to marry you someday. Okay. Now that girl also drove a car that ended up killing Kamarian.
I understand what you're
Right.
saying.
Now your girl is also facing charges for murder.
I understand what you're saying.
Right. So now what you're doing is you're just selling me a load of bullshit. You're basically pissing on my back and telling me it's raining. And I'll tell you this right now. 211 on a Norm does not mean help. Everybody knows that, okay? I know what the second letter of the alphabet is, and I know what the 11th letter of the alphabet is, all right? And I know in my mind what on a Norm means, okay? And we have ran this by multiple GDs, both old and young. We ran it by gang investigators. So I know what 211 means. 211 means blood killing, okay? On a Norm means civilian, somebody that's not affiliated, not associated, okay? That's what that means. That's what you wrote a couple of hours afterwards. To me, that means that you knew for sure that this boy was dead and that you needed help to get out of town, right? Because what happened was you guys killed a normal person. That's what it means, okay? You were in the car when this guy died. I'm not saying you shot him.
And I'm telling you, like I said, help. I need help.
Right. 211 means blood killing, right?
I don't know, dude.
You don't know what 211 means?
Bro, I'm not even like banging like that.
You used to be.
Yeah, I used to be.
Listen, man, in your music videos and all the shit that you claim, that's a different persona
I hear what you're saying.
than the Stephen Monroe that's crying to me, begging for help.
Yeah, I understand what you're
That's a different person,
saying. Okay.
okay? So you gotta decide which person are you gonna be right now, because today is the
I'm
day.
being me, Steven.
Right.
I'm not. That's
Well, I'll tell you what, in about 6 minutes, the whole world is gonna find out what's happening with all this,
I understand what you're saying.
all right? Because in 6 minutes, we're going live with local news all over the state of Florida. You need to decide right now, are you gonna be the only one that has a different story, that's not true.
But that's the truth though.
That's
That's all
not
I can only tell you.
Devondre confessed to driving the
Okay,
car.
I hear what you're saying. I hear
And
what you're
Pooh
saying.
confessed to being in the back and shooting. You need to tell me the truth. The truth that happened that night is that you guys go down there, you're in the front seat, you have your Glock on you, this boy shot at you and tried to kill you. You guys pull around and you shot at him back. Was it self-defense?
I never had a gun, bro, and I wasn't sitting in the front seat. I know where I was sitting.
Okay, so all the other videos of you having a gun a couple of hours beforehand, days beforehand, weeks beforehand, all these guns that you're playing with all the fucking time, right? The guns that all your roommates tell us that you have. All these things. This is the one time you guys decide to go down to op territory and not have your fucking pole
That
on?
shit was Dre gun, like I said.
Which one?
Whatever gun that y'all talking about,
Okay.
any of them guns.
I'm not saying who
Dre
owns the
stuff.
gun. I don't care who
I
owns the
understand
gun.
what you're saying.
You shot down the
but
block
I'm
that
telling
night.
you, no, I didn't.
Steven, you are gonna fuck yourself because you're the only one lying.
Okay,
You're the only one lying. Why the fuck would you be the only one lying in this scenario?
I hear what you're saying.
No, I don't think you do, man. I don't know if you think this shit is just fake, but it ain't.
Okay.
Tyrese is in the other room, a couple rooms down. He's getting arrested for first-degree murder as we
I hear
speak.
what you're saying, dude. I understand what you're saying.
Okay, I
understand
don't-
what you're saying, but I do.
Steven, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. The state attorney's office is not very happy with the fact that you're making up this fourth person and that you're putting somebody else in this fucking mess that doesn't need to be involved, because you guys need to be held accountable for your actions, okay? Devondre Williams is driving, Tyrese Patterson shot, and you shot. How many times did you shoot? That is the big question.
I didn't shoot.
Okay, well, you
No.
shot a Glock that night.
No, I didn't.
Okay, there's witnesses there, and there's two co-defendants in the car.
I hear what you're saying. Of course, they're gonna try to drag me in something because they already in some shit.
They told on themselves. They don't have to drag you into nothing.
Yes,
They
the
told
fuck
on
they do
themselves.
because they don't want to go down by themselves.
They don't give a fuck.
Exactly. They
No,
don't give a fuck.
Dre doesn't want to go down whatsoever,
Okay.
right? So he
I hear what
says,
you're saying, bro.
he says you shoot, and he says Pooh shoots.
I hear what
Pooh,
you're saying.
this morning, he just out of anger, we slide him a piece of paper that says you have a warrant for your arrest for murder. He's like, fuck that, I'm not the only one going down for this shit, I'll tell you what happened. He tells us the whole story, and it exactly matches up with the evidence. Exactly.
I hear what you're saying, but
What you're saying does not make any sense.
it
No
might not
driver.
make sense. It
You
might
said
not
a
make
driver
sense,
shot out
but
of the
I'm telling
driver's
you,
seat, right? You said a driver shot the opposite direction. This driver, this guy.
Because he did.
So he shot down the other end of the block where there was no ops at?
Bro,
Why would he do that?
it's bananas, bro. They just trying to wet shit up. They just trying to kill people. Don't care about anything.
Oh, they
Hear
don't
what I'm
know.
telling you, bro. That's all I can tell you.
What caliber gun did you shoot that night?
I didn't shoot any guns.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. And I'll tell you what, the caliber of the gun makes a big difference in this situation.
I understand what you're
Okay,
saying.
no, I don't think you do exactly, okay? Because, listen, ultimately, Noah was shot and killed with a specific type of bullet, okay? And I think you know whose gun killed Noah Smith. Right? Now, what I'm telling you is that there was multiple shell casings on scene from two different guns. DNA has been recovered from those shell casings. Okay? The DNA is being sent off, and we're gonna compare it to yours. I'll tell you, I'll bet you $1 million that your DNA is all over those shell casings. Those are guns that you've handled multiple times.
Yeah, I touched it.
Right, you touched it, sure. Those are guns that you've handled. You're in the car, this boy gets shot. Pooh shoots a gun down the street, he told us what type of gun it was. You shoot a gun down the street, you need to tell me what type of gun that is, because we need to figure out if your bullet is the one that killed Noah or not. Because I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, that is a massive factor in this case. Do you want to just be somebody in the car that was shooting at Terrell? Terrell don't want to fucking press charges. Terrell's going down for this shit too. You think Terrell's going to come in here and say, oh yeah, I want to press charges against Stephen Monroe for shooting at me? Nobody gives a fuck about that. Everybody just wants everybody to be held accountable for what they did during the Noah Smith case. All right? And you were in that car, you shot a gun down the street. I know you shot a Glock. I want to know what caliber it was. Steven, listen. Sorry. Listen, you're a grown man, okay? You gotta make a choice right now. Okay, I understand. You have to make a choice right now. Are you gonna be painted out to be a liar, or are you gonna stand up here like a man and say exactly what you did and let the chips fall where they may? I understand. Listen, man, I know you're scared. I know you are scared. Listen, this is not where you need to be right now.
I don't know what kind of gun it was. I really don't.
Okay. There's two options. Stephen, was it a 40 caliber or was it a 9mm? Which one did you shoot that night? Okay, whose gun was it? They were all Dre's. They were all Dre's, both guns? Did Dre give his gun to Pooh? Okay. Now I want to try this again, all right? And we're on the right path now. Where exactly were you seating in the car? Tell the truth. Okay. Who was driving? All right. And where was Pooh sitting? Okay. And then you guys go down there. Why were you guys going down there now?
To smoke.
Okay. So then, did you see Terrell Sampson shoot at your car? You did. Did you know it was Terrell Sampson? But you just heard the gunshots? Okay. How did we find out it was Terrell Sampson that was shooting at you guys? How did you find out, not me?
Because people were talking about me.
Okay. So when you guys come around the block and you guys start letting off fire down the block, what was the intended target? Was it Noah Smith? Did you guys try to shoot and kill Noah Smith? No?
I don't know if that's what they're aiming for.
You don't know that who was aiming for? Okay, who were you aiming at? Huh? You were aiming at Terrell? Did you see him standing out there? Did he still have a gun when he was standing out there? Okay, did you think he was going to shoot at you? You did. Okay. How many times did you shoot? This is the big important question. Just one time? And you can't remember what kind of gun you had? And listen, you've already done a really good job, okay? But I do think, listen, relax, man. I do think that you know exactly what gun you had because I believe that that's your gun.
I don't know what kind of gun I really don't remember.
Okay. All right, listen, relax. Relax. Hey.
I don't want to be here.
Okay, I know you don't want to be here, man. Nobody wants to be here. I get that. I completely get that. Tyrese just got hit with a murder charge, bro.
I just don't want to be in this situation. I'm just trying to protect myself.
I get it. You're trying to protect yourself. I understand that. And listen, you have an attorney that you can explain all this to, but you have to be honest with your attorney too.
The fourth person was invented in the first 5 minutes of this interrogation. It has now been running for nearly 30 minutes. The story is falling apart piece by piece. Monroe placed himself in the front seat, attributed both guns to Williams, and started answering questions he had spent the first block refusing to touch. However, the fourth person never existed. Investigators had found 6 shell casings at the scene, 5 from a 9mm, 1 from a .40 caliber. 2 years later, a .40 caliber Glock 23 was recovered from a contact of Monroe's in Castleberry, Florida. Prosecutors determined that Monroe had been armed with that .40 caliber Glock the night of the shooting. Patterson, the other shooter, had carried the 9mm. The bullet that struck Noah Smith in the hip, the shot that killed him, came from Monroe's gun. What detectives have not yet been able to extract is the one detail that may matter most at trial: the caliber of the gun Monroe fired that night.
All right, so let's start out. How did all this beef start? What is the problem between the Sampsons and you guys?
I don't know. I inherited the beef because Dre didn't have nowhere to stay and Pooh didn't have nowhere to stay, so I let them stay at my house.
Okay.
And then they were already beefing with these people. I was just being a friend. I was not finna let nobody just hurt my friends or do whatever. Starting to run up on me and they telling me they got my address and stuff. And
right. Who said they had your address?
I don't know. One of them said they had it. We was arguing with him on live.
Was that Rod?
I think it was Rod.
Because Rod was on the live saying like, I just passed Rose Town. Okay. So what you guys are at Rose Petal, you guys are gonna go down to Benel to go get some weed to smoke. Is that right? Did you guys leave Rose Petal with the purpose of going to start some shit with the ops?
No.
Okay, when you get down there, you're driving down Anderson Street. Dre is in the front driving, you are in the front passenger, and Pooh is right behind you in the passenger, right? Okay, when you get to that corner there by the houses, by like sweat shit up there, what happens out there? Who says what?
I don't really know where, like, vanilla like that. Like
No,
I said, but
well-
I just know that
Where Terrell was standing.
I seen Terrell
Okay,
and Pooh started yelling. I guess he was telling people to get out the way. And Terrell started shooting at the car. And he spun back. And Terrell. And then he just started shooting at Terrell.
okay, so Terrell starts shooting, you guys make the corner, right, you go down the road where the gym's at, you come down Bowie Street, right, this is all on camera, so that's why I'm saying it, because I know for a fact. You pull up to the corner, Dre's driving, now he pulls up so that you and Pooh have a clear line of sight, so you can see exactly down the street there. And then you and Pooh just start shooting at the same time? Did Pooh shoot first? Do you know who shot first?
As I said, one time, Pooh was dumping a whole clip.
Okay, you shot one time and Pooh dumped the whole clip.
Or what I thought was the whole clip. I didn't know he was shooting a lot, and I just shot one time.
Okay. All right, so then after that, you guys leave Benelli, you guys go back to Rose Petal, right? That's what all the surveillance cameras show. What happens once you guys get back to Rose Petal?
Get back. Everybody starts hitting us up. I go in my room. They leave. I'm in my room. I'm sleeping. I don't know what happened after that.
Okay. Creed, I need to know where these guns are at.
I really don't know where they're at.
Tyrese told me this morning that you were going to give them to somebody around the way, around the corner, and that they were going to hold them for you.
No.
I need to get these guns off the street.
I don't know where they're at.
Okay.
And I didn't give nobody nothing.
People in the house have told us that you were going to get rid of them. And then Tyrese told us this morning that you were going to give them to a neighbor.
That's not true.
Where did they go then, if that's not where they were?
I don't know.
We have to know what you did with it. Did you keep it with you?
No, I just left.
Did you give it back to, what's his name? To the food?
Dre and Pooh, they took, like I said, they took the weapons with them. I didn't, like after that night, I just,
Both of these guys say that they were your guns and that you knew what happened with them afterwards.
that's not true.
Are they in your house in Oak Hill?
No.
Well, I'll tell you one other thing, okay? You're being very honest now, and that's apparent. But the one thing that can probably put this over the edge a little bit to make you look a lot better than you look right now is to tell us where we can get these guns at.
But I really don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. And I really did not give nobody no guns to know. That's not true. Adding a fourth person, that was a lot. I'm scared and I don't want to be in this situation and get in trouble for defending myself.
Okay. What's the
Me
purpose?
taking the guns and all of this extra shit.
All right, let me ask you this. What's the purpose of coming up with the fourth person in the car as the driver?
Purpose of the fourth person being in the car. Me being scared, I just didn't know what to say. I kind of already said it. It slipped out of my mouth, so I just
So,
I'm scared. I'm in a situation I don't want to be in.
but having this fake person driving, what does that do for the story of it?
I was really just trying to save Dre.
Oh, you were trying to help
I was
people?
trying to help people, bro.
Okay.
But all it's doing is getting me in trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, being there the night that a kid dies and you being in the car where a bunch of people were shooting is definitely not a good look.
Yeah, I understand.
What else do you know about this whole situation? Is there anything else you know about the Noah Smith thing?
No,
Tell me what 211 on the norm means.
I just told you. From my understanding,
Does 211 on the norm means that a person was killed and I need help?
yes.
Okay. But 211 is known to you to be BK.
I don't really know what it stands for. I wasn't briefed formally.
Okay.
Like, so I don't really know all the codes. I just know that means I need help and somebody was killed.
All right. So last thing I have for you, it's not the best news in the world, okay?
I understand.
You're being charged today with first-degree murder
Okay.
of Noah Smith. You have no bond. This is just a charge. It's not a conviction. Do you understand what that difference is?
No.
Okay, it just means that you have a warrant for your arrest for murder. You are going to be charged today, but it doesn't mean that things aren't going to play out differently with the attorneys and with the court system. So they're going to book you in down here again for the charge of homicide, and then things can play out how they play out with the attorneys. But our role, our responsibility here is done, and there's really not much more that we can do outside of just explaining to you the process. But ultimately, I'm not saying that you killed Noah Smith per se.
Nobody gonna help me, bro.
What we're saying is that many people took actions that night that led to the death of Noah Smith. An innocent kid. Do you understand that? You, Dre, and Pooh, and Terrell Sampson all made choices that night that led a 15-year-old kid to end up losing his life. And this is what the lifestyle that you guys have chose to live, the fake lifestyle of rapping about killing ops and pulling out your fucking pole and I'm gonna shoot you and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, all that fake bullshit has led you to this point where now you and your friends are all going to prison for murder.
I'm scared, bro.
Okay, well, you were scared enough to shoot into a crowd of people. You shot at somebody. Right, there was multiple people out there, and you were far enough away where unless you're some fucking military sniper, you run the risk of hurting somebody else. It would have been one thing if you guys would have returned fire immediately, but to wait 30 seconds, come around the block, and spray down the block, that's a big, big fucking problem.
I just sprayed this shot one time.
Yeah, well, the car did.
Who did?
Okay, well, Pooh will be held accountable for that. He's already been charged this morning.
So basically, there ain't shit y'all could do, and you just wanted to get that out of me so that you could charge me.
You're already being charged. We didn't just make this up as we were sitting.
No, I
This is
understand what
already
you're
done.
saying, but either way,
At the end of the day,
I'm not gonna be helped regardless.
well, Stephen, we can't help you. What we do is we collect evidence and give it to the state attorney's
Y'all
office.
can't
That's
help me
what
at all, bro.
What?
Or you won't help me.
No, that's not true. What we are not allowed to help you. We can't offer you anything. I can't promise you.
That, bro.
Right, but what you need to do is you need to get with your attorney and communicate with
You're
the
not
state
gonna
attorney's
help me,
office.
bro.
That's their whole job is to help
You're
you.
not gonna help me, bro. They work for the state, bro. Come on.
No, that's not true at all, man. They go back and forth all the time. Your attorney can communicate with our attorney. You guys can make up some sort of situation on how this all gets resolved. It has nothing to do with us at that point. Our job is done. We've collected the evidence and given it to the state. The state attorney's office felt there was enough probable cause to charge you with homicide today. That's all we're saying.
I'm never gonna see my dad. Never gonna see my family.
How old are you, Steve?
43.
Well, I think you answered your question already, man. You're 23 years old, okay? You're not 60 years old. Also, I'll tell you who's really fucked here is Dre for what he did to Kamario. Again, man, this is just an arrest. It doesn't mean that you're getting convicted of anything. You will have your day in court. You will have your day in court.
Y'all can help me.
We don't have that power.
We're not allowed, bro.
We don't have that power.
That's not what we do. That's not what we do.
The state is fully aware of your case. We are gonna let them know exactly how honest you were today, and then they can take all that into consideration when they're talking to your attorney. You know what I'm saying? And we only have limited power. Our job is just to collect evidence. That is literally our job. It's not that exciting. I promise you that, okay? And I certainly don't like dropping bad news on everybody. That's not fun. But what's done is done. You guys made a choice that night. Somebody died. Now people have to be held accountable, okay? You're a grown man. You have to live with your consequences. That's it.
Please make a phone call for me.
Who do you need to call?
Just want to talk to my baby mama.
To your baby mama? They're about to pull you out right now. You want me to call Donna and let her know what's going on so that you can call her? Well, you have money on the books.
Don't.
Okay, I'll call Donna and let her know that she needs to put money on your bills, on your books, so that you can call her, okay? But I can't call, I honestly, I don't even have fucking service in here anymore. You can't have such a end of the world attitude with this because dude, I understand you're scared. You're always scared. I get that. That's not, you can't, this is not the time to be scared. This is the time to say to your family and to your attorney that this is what happened, I need help, and then let your attorney work it out with the state. Okay, but you can't just say, oh, I'm never gonna see this, I'm never gonna do that.
Because John just said John can't help me, you're not allowed to help.
Bro, all we can do is allow you to help yourself. That's our job. And no, everybody says, don't talk to the cops, blah, blah, blah. Bro, the second that we talk to people and they express honesty, this is what gives people a chance in their future, just by being honest. So if you're being honest totally about what happened with Noah Smith's case, okay, you swear that that's the truth? Okay, then I'm gonna ask you to do this, all right? And then we'll give your statement to the state attorney's office. Raise your right hand. Okay, do you swear and affirm that everything you told us today about Noah Smith's case, outside of the fourth person in the car, do you swear that all of this is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, so help you God?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steven, look at me for a second. I think you told us a lot of stuff here today. That was pretty accurate. Are you 100% sure you don't remember what caliber gun you fired? I mean, now that we're being honest with each other.
Man, I'm sure I don't remember.
Steven, I still think you know.
I don't.
And it wasn't your gun.
No. I don't know evidence of mine. I didn't even have guns in the tray and them came to my house.
And you don't know where those guns are now, or what you did with them?
No.
I'm telling you though, when we find those guns, if we can prove that it was you who hid them or didn't give them over to law enforcement, that's not gonna be good for you.
I understand.
I hope so. Yep. All right. Deputy Hagerty's gonna take you, man.
Come on, man.
All right, call us if you have any other questions or anything.
All right, man. Step up and let's hit it.
Can I please just get a second?
Yeah, come on. I'll put you someplace where you can get a second now around these guys, huh?
Yeah, he'll give me a second.
In the months following this interrogation, he recorded a rap song. In the lyrics, he appeared to describe the night of the shooting directly, naming Terrell Sampson, describing the block, describing what the car did and what came after. He put it out. Prosecutors obtained it. At trial in February 2025, they played it for the jury. Stephen Monroe was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without parole. Tyrese Patterson pleaded to second-degree murder, 30 years. Devondre Williams, the driver, received 55 years, also connected to a separate murder. 2 killings, the same people. the same decisions. Terrell Sampson, who fired the first shots, pleaded no contest to 3 counts of attempted manslaughter with a firearm. He received a 12-year sentence. As part of his plea deal, he agreed to testify against Monroe, Patterson, and Williams. Noah Smith was 15 years old, a student at Flagler Palm Coast High School. No gang ties, no criminal history. He was simply standing outside on the block where he lived. He had not chosen any side. He had not made a single decision that night that should have cost him his life. His family will carry that night forever. Thank you for watching.